My family used me as their free daycare service, so I made their vacation a permanent one. My family discovered I was good with kids when I was 14 and babysat my cousin once. That single afternoon of watching cartoons turned me into their unpaid nanny for the next 12 years. At first, it was just by my sister dropping off her toddler just for an hour while she ran errands. That hour turned into 6 when she decided to get her nails done instead. I remember sitting on my floor surrounded by broken crayons and goldfish crackers, realizing I'd missed my shift at the coffee shop. My brother joined in with midnight texts about his twins needing an emergency sitter for his concert plans. In college, they took it even further. My sister would bang on my dorm door and dump her kids for entire weekends. She cost me my first serious boyfriend when she called me during our anniversary dinner, screaming about a fake emergency. My boyfriend looked at me across that candlelit table and said he couldn't do this anymore. After graduation, my parents made everything worse by secretly giving my siblings keys to my apartment. I started coming home from my marketing job to find kids destroying my kitchen and toys taking over my home office. My boss pulled me aside after I'd missed another presentation and told me to figure out my priorities. The moment they took it too far came 3 months ago when I woke up to voices in my living room. I stumbled out in my pajamas to find 4 kids watching cartoons with suitcases next to them. My sister's 2 kids and my brother's twins were all there, eating my cereal like it was just another Saturday. On my counter was a note that made my hand shake. My entire family had booked a month-long cruise to Europe and decided not to tell me because I'd make it difficult. The note said they knew I'd take good care of the kids, like I always do. I kept reading it over and over, trying to understand how they could just leave the country without even asking me. My sister had attached a grocery list, and my brother left $200 for expenses, like I was their personal hired help they could book without notice. The youngest kid looked up and asked if I was making pancakes for breakfast. That innocent question broke something inside me because these kids had no idea their parents had just abandoned them. That's when I decided to teach them what abandonment really felt like. You see, 12 years of forced babysitting had taught me every rule about child welfare and what authorities look for. I made the kids breakfast and told them we were going to play a game where they told me about all the times they'd stayed with me before. I recorded videos on my phone as they excitedly shared stories about being dropped off for days without their parents checking in. The 7-year-old even mentioned the time his mom left him here when he had strep throat. I carefully documented the suitcases, the note, and the pathetic $200 meant to last a month. Then I looked up the number for Child Protective Services. My family thought they were getting a free month in Europe. Instead, they were about to learn what happens when you abandon your children with someone who knows the system. I called CPS and reported 4 abandoned minors with no guardianship papers. The caseworker arrived within 2 hours and went pale reading the note. By afternoon, the kids were in emergency foster care and authorities were contacting the cruise ship. They pulled my family off at the first port and the call started immediately. My brother called first, his voice shaking with rage. "You vindictive witch! My wife is having a breakdown. The twins think we abandoned them." He kept repeating that I'd stolen his children over a simple misunderstanding. Then my sister called sobbing so hard she could barely speak. "Please, please, please tell them you agreed to watch them. I'll die without my babies. You can have anything you want. Just fix this." She begged for 20 minutes while guards tried to process her. My mother's call was the worst because she wasn't crying or screaming. Her voice was completely flat. "You've destroyed this family. Your father collapsed when they handcuffed him. The cruise security treated us like terrorists in front of everyone." She said I'd always been jealous of my siblings' happiness, and this was my sick revenge. The last call came from my father in holding. 30 years I worked to build this family, and you burned it down in one morning. When I get out, you're dead to me. They were all flown back to face abandonment charges. I blocked their lawyer's number and sat in my quiet apartment, finally free from 12 years of servitude. 6 months later, they're still in family court fighting to regain custody.